Hi everyone, it's Bitcoin from the Big Chubowski in the first round of this third week of Ground Arena. I want to say thanks to everyone who left some feedback on the last video to let me know what kind of format you prefer. So I'll be trying out that format that I described where I cover all three rounds in one video and I just kind of focus on what opponent I'm fighting, what the board looks like and why that is. So still cover the strategic part a bit and then kind of show you how I tackled it and which fights were interesting. And if I do still fight a very strong opponent, I can always choose to cover the whole round still and make a separate video out of that. But I figured this might stand out more and won't force me to sort of cover fights that might not be interesting. I'll still be sort of narrating all of them so that in the event that I want to use the fight or something interesting or noteworthy happens, I can do that. But yeah, that's kind of the plan. So this is going to be the first round of doing that, and then you can sort of like skip ahead in the video to see specific fights or to see the second or the third round if you happen to be my opponent who wants to see what I did. So yeah, let's get into it. I think there are some feats to do, like crit chance up. I honestly did not look into who gives crit chance up. I think Jedi Knight Anakin does, and a couple others. Probably like Han does to himself with his special or something like that. I don't know. I'm just gonna do battles and see if I get it, and if I don't, then whatever, I'm not super bummed out about it. Fighting Terry. Terry is from the guild Croatia DS. 861k lifetime, has an executor, and 4 GLs. So most people this week have 4 GLs. There's one guy with 5 GLs, and he actually also has Lord Vader. So I might be fighting him this week, depending on how I do for the rest of the matches, obviously. So Terry has attacked, but Terry had a bit of a rough time with my General Grievous. That was the first battle he did. Was there this morning, and then I think later on he started attacking some other things. So I don't really know what happened. He damaged nothing. I put IG 11 there in the 5th slot because I wasn't sure. I figured I'd want to save Watt for this round. In the back he took out my raid team, no problem, for high banners I believe, and the mall team as well. So what's interesting is that at the moment JML is bugged because they introduced a bug where he deals true damage after his leadership. So you might be seeing that from me like after leadership and unique, which is supposed to happen before it because it's base max protection, which is what they mean by not having the leadership and the unique included yet, just at the start of the battle before those apply. So he's dealing way too much damage and killing pretty much anything, so I'm quite sure that he used that to pretty much demolish me. And then over here, I believe he stopped attacking. I think he wants to see what I do before he proceeds, so that's alright. I said Shaq T with the bad batch because I saved Fost, I think, for my SLK in the team below indeed. So he had no problems there either. And the rest he has kind of held off. So on his defense I could not find any GLs, so he said Gas over here is the strongest team. And then the Dooku team does not have Newt, which is a bit unusual. So I was wondering if maybe he saved Newt to go with SLK like against JMK as some people do, or if he has a separate Newt team. I'm not quite sure there. Okay, he's here under Grievous. Forgive me, it's been like 12 hours since I looked at this map. So the Finn team there, that one's pretty unusual. And then he's got Grievous with Newt indeed as mentioned. And just a Gear 12 B1 and B2. You really don't see that too often because most people had to struggle through gas and get relics on those. But I guess he did it a bit different. And then the CLS team as well. So typically from my experience, if someone sets both gas and CLS on defense, it almost always means trouble for them. It's really a strategy I would strongly recommend against, because one way or another you're going to face combinations of teams where you really wish you had either of those teams on offense, and you just don't really have a solution to them. So the CLS team, I'm just going to mirror in this case. I've got GLs that I could use against it. I've got some other options that I could scrape together that I'd rather not use. So let's just get into this one and do the lovely mirror that a lot of people thoroughly enjoy. It's not too bad if you're faster, but yeah, gotta do a good job at it. I fought a Relic 8, full Relic 8 team in one of the recent territory wars. That is something else, I can tell you. I was faster, but it's pretty stressful. C3PO stun actually really sucks. I really don't like that one. I'm not going to do the stand switch because Chewie typically goes down here. Let's say there's a pretty high chance to get my C3PO out. Though so far so good. I want to go for him, I think. Nope, he went before me. Okay. Well, that's C3PO gone. That sucks. And of course, yeah, I was looking at the evasion up on there. Been looking at that all week with Executor testing. It is the most hated debuff for me in the game at the moment. So I think I might actually lose this one at the current rate. So that's how it's starting to feel. But let's see if I can still turn it around. So Chewie doesn't assist, which means all of my attacks at the moment are much weaker than I'd like them to be. So this is looking quite bad. Might fish for a stun on CLS here. Though he can't stand swap at the moment, so let's actually get the 3PO. Great. Do I want to risk this? He's like kind of the only character who's not completely destroyed, so I think I'll save it. Get the stun here for the kill, and now do the double basic on Han. Which I should be able to tank the counters off due to the guard, but that is not fun. Okay, he swaps again, so he's got the high tenacity now. I should be able to make him dodge the next hit. This is not going to stun, obviously. But not a ton I can do. If Chewie would assist, I would get the tenacity down, which I actually just finally got. Yeah, so Han does give crit chance up to the whole team. It's actually crit damage up to himself. So this is going to be very ugly in banners, but 54, that's really not that bad actually. For Han like barely hanging on and C3PO being dead. Okay. So against gas here, what a lot of people do, if you take a look at the GAC stats on SWGOH, you see that people use SCE Watt against gas. And it makes no sense at all, in my opinion, to use that team comp because you're just throwing away Watt. You actually don't need him. What Watt is there for is to help your SCE survive longer, and maybe with a bit of luck you get the protection banner at the end, but I don't think it's possible. So really it's just there to help keep SCE alive. So what you could do instead of adding Watt and allowing you to use Watt in a more constructive way is you can just add any dark side tank, preferably a relic one. So it could be Royal Guard, for example. That's not a bad choice. Kylo Ren Masked is even nicer, but you need to be able to spare him because he does lead a team. Because he can actually heal a fair bit when he gets damage, so there are scenarios where you can keep him alive. That's unfortunately not the case for me now. I need to use him with a first order team probably. I don't know for sure yet, but I just want to show you how it works with these two. And how your tank is really just there to take some heat off from SCE, to help him progress to the ultimate, and the tank get it off just fine. So as always, you start by linking gas, and you start by follow up rather by linking fives. And then RG, like, he will get the taunt from that. And he won't be taunting the whole time, but anyone who is deceived on their end will only be able to hit Royal Guard for most of the fight anyway. Though he's not a Sith tank, so I think that's a little different. And then every time you get the chance here, you just do the protection recovery, and then you can focus on the tank. So they'll kind of alternate their damage between the two. I can put this up and get the retribution back. Just gotta be careful with it that I don't accidentally trigger the sacrifice somehow. So again, Royal Guard is low. I keep the focus on fives. And he will certainly die. There's no chance for him to save himself. So if fives isn't taunting, then you can link Arc and Echo. There's no point in relinking fives because you're gonna kill him. And because they're now linked, they can't crit you, and that further reduces the odds of them taking out SCE, which they already can't anyway. So fives is nearly dead here. And surprisingly, that did not kill him. And so you see here, because I brought Royal Guard, like, what are they gonna do? There's pretty much nothing. My SCE is full. He's now going into ultimate. Make sure that before you go into ultimate, you always kill fives first, You don't want it to have the scenario where this AoE here does not actually kill 5s in time and you trigger sacrifice and someone might survive, because that has happened to some people, and then you can just zap out gas quite easily. So I still get the same banner count as if you would have brought what, but it's a much better trade, I think, because Royal Guard, in my case at least, can still be missed. You could also use Sith Empire Trooper. There's plenty of other tanks that you could use. You could even throw in something silly like Zalbar, who won't necessarily taunt, but he might taunt when gas starts getting SCE low or something, if it would really go that bad. Or gas, I mean the clones. Anyway, it's a nice solution, I think, to a problem that I see a lot of people sort of fall for. You can use Watt in much more constructive ways, so make sure to do that. Now, out of the remaining teams, I guess the strongest is the Beskar Mando one and the Maul one. So I'll just start going straight for... There's no Vandor Chewie, so just straight for the Mandalorian himself. And again, as with SCE, it's pretty difficult for him to do much because they just can't stack any Whistling Birds because there's really only one target to hit. And as a result, this team loses a lot of its appeal. It's very vulnerable to being taken out by Galactic Legends. Only downside is I'm not paying attention to the healing immunity because I'm busy talking. As a result there, he could actually prevent me from healing. So that's not too great. I'll just waste this because I need to get through the foresight later anyway. I don't want to hit Han because he will counter, so I'll just hit Queel here. And go into my ultimate to cleanse the debuffs. And this is also when I start countering, which helps a fair bit. It's almost tempting to go for IG first, but this is really just a matter of taking my time, stacking up the damage, and then finishing them off. So this time no healing immunity landed, which means I'll just use the special and probably naturally let the foresight expire there. So I got the double kill on IG there. And just let Mando use those up. I can hit other targets in the meantime. So you can probably tell that I haven't done this fight before, but it's not really rocket science. Even if they're much higher relict or if they have an ideal team composition, they just don't have the damage without the Whistling Birds. Yeah, at the start they got through my health really easily, but sorry, the protection really easily, but there's still a ton of health. So there's just not much they can do. Let's do this. See if I can Nah, that's not happening. I was gonna say maybe I can get to full protection, but this is just fine. So Sidious should go first, yep. That triggers Hermit Yoda. Can then go for Wampa with an indirect hit. This should kill Wampa. Yeah, no clue how these guys would stand a chance. Like, sure, you can bring more characters to be safe, but if you just look at the stats and the stats tell you everyone wins this, then and you think through it logically yourself, then it should be quite alright. Sidious is really healthy, that's pretty crazy. So currently healing immunity on me, so I'll want to kill him first. See if I can heal up to full. Marauder. Because here I get my chance, I think. I'll just basic. Okay. Heal. It's not quite enough. Because I can do the stun, but... Actually, yeah, Hermit Yoda might go before him. Yep. So what heals more here? Actually wondering. 25%, that should do it. So that's another 63. Helps me to widen the gap a bit with this guy because he's pretty close. But now we've taken out the same number of teams and I'm ahead by 17. I would like to increase that buffer in case he set the Executor on defense, which he probably did. So please, no evasion, as mentioned. Done a lot of testing. And I've had some days where I don't kill a single ship because the evasion is just absolutely brutal. Let's also see who they target. The Vulture, that's alright. So I'm gonna start with the AoE because there's no point in cleansing something if I'm gonna lose it straight away. Okay, got a dodge there. There goes my... Okay, no TFP. Interesting. Well, let's see if he manages to stick around. Alright, the coin flip. Got it on Xanadu Blood. Now let's count the dodges. None. Or at least none that mattered. That's nice. Let's see, he's got 3 buzz droids here. This is basic him. Could have gone for anything else, mate. But this should cleanse. Perfect. I seem to instinctively still tap the other ship in the hopes that somehow I can go around the taunt, which is obviously not happening. 2 turns until ultimate. Alright, I'm gonna stun, I think, the Mandalorian here with this one. And then I target Bosk and stun him too. Great. And I'm fairly sure this will get him out of the stun, but... I think it's best if I finish off Mando. Let's not toy with the evasion up on IG. That's gonna be Boba. That's gonna be... Okay, Sunfuck is saving the day there. I'm not at my ultimate, that's a problem. I think they might get theirs off. Not sure actually, they haven't landed too much breach. Just ignoring Boba because I don't really want to get countered. Okay, there it is. And this pulls my ship ahead of theirs. I think they might have just done the ultimate in the next one. So I consider myself lucky there, but maybe I'd have to count the turns. And I think the luck just turned anyway. The hell was that, mate? Alright, always gotta make sure Boss goes down at this point. Oh, more ship bleeding. Rip banners. Ah, this is such a wasted turn. And now really everything's going down. Ah, that's too bad. Though those are just summoned vultures, I'd still like to not get my other ships targeted. Yeah, so it was actually the next turn, so I lucked out pretty hard there. I think I'll take out Boba, because if I don't, kind of in trouble. Or maybe do this and get the assist. Nope, that did not happen. That might have been a big misplay here. I think I need to kill him. Okay, at least he's gone. Oh my god, Hyena too. And he gets healed. Pretty high chance of losing here. Yep. And that's lame. Kind of my own fault, I guess. I should have maybe played a bit different there at the end. That could cost me the match quite easily. So I'm not too pumped about that. Okay, so it's just a basic. That's pretty good. I can't stun here. I'll just do this purely for the damage, because then I can hopefully spec him out. Okay, I'm kind of glad I accounted for potential random things happening. As that is bad news. I think I should pass the turn here to get rid of that stun sooner. Yep, that was the right play. So 49 for a cleanup is not the worst. But he's definitely going to have to drop a battle for me to win this one. Another battle, that is. And I'm not sure that's gonna happen because he kept all of his GLs for offense. And he has taken out 2. Might have used 1 in the front, I hope so. But I'll just have to see. I'll show you what he did. Hopefully it's not a loss, because that would be quite unfortunate. In the top zone, he took 3 attempts on gas, which was to my surprise. So initially I thought I might lose due to the struggles that I had with his fleet. But then I finally saw the double attempt on gas there, and that ensured the victory. And then ultimately ended up cleaning it up. And then on fleets, he failed on the executor and then just gave up. So that's at least better than the atrocity of a fight I had. But I was glad I was able to pull off a win against a very strong opponent. That executor issue there could have definitely cost me. So still not a fan of how this is panning out, but I'll just have to keep trying. So yeah, that's a nice win. So I made a grave mistake against this opponent. His name is Ghost of Friznik. He's from the guild Mighty Chlorians, 872k lifetime. And historically, he always keeps everything for offense. Talking literally all the Galactic Legends, his strongest defensive team is Gas. And then from there on out, it's like Grievous and weaker teams. So it has 4 GLs, no ultimate on JML. So I figured, well, if he literally always keeps everything for offense, then I'll set a pretty heavy defense. Then that was also based on what he did in the first round. So I could tell that he did 63 on quite a few teams, which made me assume, okay, he just has all his GLs for offense and is undersizing a lot. And I'm guessing that I got a bit of bad luck there, because he faced a very weak opponent in the first round that might have literally just set a very low gear teams, because this guy set his JMK and his Rey on defense, each in a separate front wall. So JMK here with Padme, Janet, Anakin, Ahsoka, and then other strong teams. And in the bottom here, Rey with Cat, Gas, and Darth Revan. And I have 4 Galactic Legends on defense. I've got 1 for offense, it's SE, and he's gonna struggle against both of these. So it's literally the worst thing I could have done. And you see my Gas here, he's hanging on with 1 defend, but if he wanted to, I'm not sure my Gas would be able to hold him off, because he hasn't done a lot of attacks. He should still have teams left. So basically, if Gas falls, I lose this Grand Arena round. You see SLK there, got 1 shot, so he might have used his JML there or something else. I basically put SLK over here, and I put JMK over here, but with a relatively weak team, so he might have been able to take that out a bit easier. So again, no Gas frame on offense, so I'm guessing it was a GL. Also double shot the Grievous team, like one of the previous opponents. That's pretty interesting. And then generally got good banners on all the other teams, so that does make me believe that he should have spent most of his good teams, but I don't see any reason for him to not pick apart Gas. So we'll have to see. My hopes are down though. I don't think I'll be able to win this, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. So Executor he took out in 1 go, as most of my opponents seem to do. And then in the back here I put 2 GLs. In hindsight, I really wish that I would have added 1 of them to one of the front walls. But given how much he usually keeps on defense, how much he usually keeps on offense, I just thought I've got to set some in the back. I even thought of still setting SE, but I felt like that was getting a bit ridiculous. But he keeps so much for offense that I thought if I set all my GLs in the front, then he's going to be fine with clearing. If I sort of walk through the logic myself, he would be able to do that. So I figured I had to move some to the back and make him spend the GL on Gas or Darth Revan. And yeah, this is the result. So I set myself up for a loss essentially, and combined with the undersizing that he was doing, really quite unlucky. But enough said, I'm just gonna get into this one. Right, so immediately go for Gas. Some people like to go for Rex first. I don't think that's the right approach. I could do the stand swap here because they're not going to get too much go in. I hate it when they hit C3PO, that really burns a lot of progress. But I should be able to go ahead of Rex here still, good. So you already want to do the AoE here, the blind really adds nothing, Rex immediately cleanses it. This does kind of have to stun. Okay, good. Then I'm gonna leave him right there and probably go for Arc, because Arc is pretty notorious for his counters. And I think I have to kill Rex here just in the event that I don't get through Echo as well. Yeah, I was afraid of that stun there, dang it. Oh, this is gonna be a rough one. I think I'll have to clean this up. Which also sucks because I could end up with less banners than him. I need that swap from CLS. That's why I don't really like to use it initially. Because if he wouldn't have it available, then my whole team would be gaining more turn meter here early on. And because I've swapped now, you don't get that benefit from being in the call to action thing here. Apologies for the noise in the background. So you don't want to do the buffs because that feeds a lot of offense to him. Just one special here. So that with the guard I'm hopefully able to survive here. Oh, now he goes for... Oof, that's a close call. Okay, the spell... I didn't get the turn meter removal, that's gonna kick me if I don't stun here. Whew. He's dead. Oh, bro. That CLS gone too. I'll make it, but really ugly banners. So yeah, not ideal at all. I really don't like the stand swap actually. It's probably the last time I'll use it. I know some people are in favor of it. I think it's a mistake because you lose out on a lot of the TM generation. Also when 5s hits you back initially, it's just not a good idea. Let's see Rey here. So she's health modded, which helps me a bunch, but still at 11k offense. So all things considered, she's gonna be very strong. So tank tech on SE, Link Rey, Link Cat. And I'll just instantly lose either of my tanks here to a whirlwind, or not instantly, but as good as instantly. Or just straight up that. Damn. That is rough. Put this one on armor just to get her some more turns. So here's the question, like, do you want to, right? And I think I just straight up put this down. Don't think I want to risk it for the retribution. So that's not what gets me the win here. It's the ability to take Cat out before she becomes too much of a problem. So I can always just, I don't know, get some armor shred there. Hopefully Rey does the ultimate before Cat's Force Leap comes in. Ah, this is gonna be really painful. Recover some protection on what? I think I might as well. Okay. Oof. Okay, well I go into ultimate. I'll just go straight in and I'll zap out Cat. I could have still linked someone else, but I think Cat's about to Force Leap, so she really has to go down. Otherwise I'll be in a world of pain. And now next up I want to link Finn and R2, because R2 still raises Rey's offense. I'll probably target Poe. The next ultimate's almost there already, so phew. I should be able to zap them out, I think, though. Yep, there we go. Great. So that's just before this ultimate, and he survives. Beautiful. I don't think I've even seen this fight in a video or anything, so I kind of just went with the sort of logical approach of how you should do this. And that seems to work, but definitely need a very survivable SE to do this. Whoops. Just one more. Yikes. And hopefully I heal enough from the basics. So I do want to have full health before she ults again, but I think I'll win this race here. I should be alright. So very ugly 47 banners. Let's check out the back wall. At least I one-shot these. I see Geos and Phasma and Mon Mothma. Okay, so at least he went kind of light on the back. But it also means he'll be pretty strong against me. So I think Night Sisters on Newt is my only option here. On Grievous Newt, that is. Alright, butt clenching engaged. I'm probably gonna lose this one, but I just don't really see another way. So I'll just get a kill on Newt already. No, because I didn't crit. That's... On the one hand, it's not the worst thing in the world, so... Let's just leave it at that. Would have definitely preferred that though. Basic here. Oh my god. So I would heal here, because if they all die, then all those cooldowns get reset anyway. But getting to B2 is going to be a nightmare. He's about to take a turn as well, so even if I dispel this, he will retaunt, there's no point. Could you like stay away from Daka? That's just so stressful. Maybe I need to go for B1 first. Probably makes more sense at this stage. Let's hit B2 here, I don't want to trigger him. Great. Extortion's not that much of a problem, my health is a problem. Like if I had to choose between the two here, and I probably have to speed this fight up a bit, because otherwise I'm losing. Oh no, no. Of course they would go for Daka immediately, are you kidding me? That is so ridiculously lame. I'm about to preload here, I think. Maybe I'm like... No, that's not happening. Let's go into airplane. Try and back out of this, if possible at all. Ah, I was so close. That was really close to getting Daka back. That's sad. Kinda tempted to post it though, given the damage on Magna Guard there. I think I'll just go ahead and post. It's whatever, really. And B1's actually gone, so... Definitely want to post it. Okay, I'm gonna send in my Sacrificial Phoenix. To burn the specials on the JMK team. Let's see if I can keep good track of them. I think JKA's AoE will just instantly wipe them, which is the goal. So that's one wasted. The kick is gone. That special is gone. And now comes JKA. Yep. So that's perfect. I think all the specials burned. Gonna need all the courage in the world here to take anything down here. Oh no, no. I mean, I say no, but it's not the worst actually. Okay, he already has this. Let's put that taunt over here. Please no. I'm not stressed. Do I sound stressed? I'm in foresight, so I can just AoE here. Not that it's going to do much, but, you know, if I can take out GK here, that would be pretty cool. He has burned the savior thing. This is 12 stacks. Guess I can burn more. And now it's going to go downhill, I think, because he gets that damage immunity. Can only hit him. And all the specials and the ultimate are going to come in. So my guess is that's about game over. But maybe a slower version due to the protection up. But I won't be able to line up the specials as beautifully as I have so far. Oof, R2. Yeah, Jedi Anakin's gonna be a bit too much here, I think. Although he did just use a special, so maybe... He gets pissed here, yes. Oh, come on. No, 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 I was so close. And this is gonna get evaded. Padme can only basic and GK can't do anything, so yeah. I got close, but I actually got him with GK. Well, you know, it's a kill. It's not gonna get me through, but it's kind of what I was hoping to see if it would be possible. I just don't have the teams to pick off the rest, and it's gonna be the same kind of process where they get turned into a pretty tanky version of themselves by JMK. With some better 4th and 5th, it would certainly be possible to pick off a little bit more there. But obviously, I didn't really have options. So I'm just gonna leave those two there for now and move on here. So currently, a win by 21 banners. And this one definitely caught me by surprise big time, but everyone makes mistakes. Even CG with their 50 teams per zone and territory wars in the same time frame. But yeah, I'll show you what happened. So in the end, I barely scraped out a win here. I couldn't quite believe it, but I definitely learned a big lesson from it. He did not try to attack gas anymore in any way. So I ended up winning by him essentially sort of blocking the wrong zone, as the JMK team was definitely harder to beat. But I guess he couldn't have known what I was going to keep for offense. But that was a close call. In the third round of this week, I am fighting Berserk 77 from a guild I'm not going to try to pronounce. 867k lifetime. And you can see in his arena there, or arenas, that he has some pretty unusual teams at this point. You mostly expect to fight executors, but he doesn't have one. And he is missing JMK. More importantly, he's missing the ultimate from JML, who he's actually had for a while. So he's just held back on applying that ultimate, and as a result, doesn't really have options against JMK besides his Ray, which is his own wrongdoing. But Berserk sent me a message after he attacked that he hates people like me. So looking forward to this round. When he says he hates people like me, he means people that stop him from full clearing. When he sets the exact same kind of defense and uses the same kind of offense every single time. So I told him, like, yeah, don't blame me for that, you've got to change it up, man. He one-shot all of these teams. In the front here, he burned his 2 of the 3 Galactic Legends he had on offense. Did the Ray match there together with like General Skywalker and JKR and Cat, whatever expensive version that is, to take out JMK. Then I think he did an SCE solo on gas and probably his own gas on Darth Revan. Don't quite know there actually. And then in the back, he could not get through Ray, he could not get through the new team either, and one-shot the Finn team. So he really only had SLK and then some scraps against Ray, because to further sort of make his life difficult, he set Hux and First Order Officer here with Kylo Ren Unmasked and with Fost, so pretty much all the best First Order pumped into one team, which I genuinely don't understand. It's such a gamble to save your SLK for offense and only give him the ability to solo weaker teams. But yeah, it's what he went with. Perhaps he felt like that was the best choice. He is pretty close to getting the Executor at least. And then I set my, maybe this is where the hate came from, but he one-shot both of these. I set my Executor and my Malevolence on defense. And he did fine on the two of them. I tried to change up the Malevolence lineup to perhaps pull his Holdo, but he typically one-shots Executors every single time, which is impressive. I would love to be able to do that, but I haven't been able to do that at all. So he's been doing that really well, and I figured, well, I'll add the Malevolence then to maybe give him some trouble on that fleet, in the event that he does need a cleanup on the Executor, but that didn't happen either. He did a fine job on both of those. So I already showed you the top zone on his end, I guess. Bottom zone here, he actually set his JML on defense, I guess figuring without the ultimate it wasn't going to add too much value to his board. So I figured on the Finn team, since it's not super fast and my Vader would be able to barely outspeed them. It's not much, but it's enough. I would use my EP Vader here. And now instead of doing the Saber Throw and Resistance Zero Finn, which is very tempting to try to get some good damage in, I feel like it's a bit risky to try to take him out this way. And what I'd rather do instead is try to take out Poe, so that in the event that Finn does a swap, it at least isn't the combo with Poe. And you can see here it didn't kill, so I definitely wouldn't have killed Finn. No ability block there, that kind of sucks. Or there. So this is almost certainly going to backfire. Do the Force Crush there. Okay, at least got him out this way. And I'll do the final Saber Throw on Resistance Zero Finn. And pick him off now. You can see it was only a very lousy 70k there. So I'm very happy I did not initially try to take him out. Because there wouldn't have been as many debuffs to get the second Culling Blade in there. If you're following me. Now hopefully get the stun on all of them. Not quite. And probably pick off Poe now. With 30k basics, it's with offense up, mind you, like it's just crazy. Alright, Saber Throw, could have gone into Merciless, but it doesn't really matter anymore, they're completely debuffed. And have no chance. So I don't really like setting this kind of team on defense too much. I do it myself sometimes, but in that case I actually have very high tenacity on Resistance Zero Finn. So that if you try to pull a counter like this, there's actually a good chance that you don't manage to ability block him or stop him from moving. Unless your Thrawn is faster, of course, but that's not the case for everyone. So that's a way where you can make this team a little bit better if it's what you'd like to set. Just slap a lot of tenacity on Resistance Zero Finn, and I'm talking like 160, 170%. And then you're able to push back Vader at least a little bit, or make that risky enough to make people reconsider using it. Okay, strange back wall. Like the CLS I was expecting. The Beskar Mando lead is a bit of an odd one, as is Krennic lead. It's not going to be a pre-taunting tank, but for example Royal Guard, if anyone else drops low, he can sort of take over and help me protect them. That's not a horrible choice. So I'll just go with these four. Okay, yeah, it's always either Hux or the pilot that they go for. So get the stun on Chewbacca. They unfortunately got a buff immunity on him, that's gonna suck. I just needed this one assist, that was pretty much all why I brought this guy. Because he's almost certainly gonna go down to no matter what I do next. And now the question is kind of like, do I want to kill off Chewie already? I would say no. Unfortunately this guy has like evasion up, but I'd rather go for him so that I can do the AoE on the stunned character next. So it's a bit of a risk, but this way I get to pick off both the Chewies in one go. And now it's really only Han and CLS left. But my SLK is looking pretty bad. And I'd rather pick off Han here. And then finish off with a stun on CLS. So it's really bad banners, but by going in with 4 I at least managed to get a 51 here. Rather than going in with 5 it would have been a probably 47 at most. worried, you can always add Old Ben and go with the trio, but they should be able to take out any relic Kylo Ren unmasked First Order team, as long as there's no SLK. I start with the Heroes Arise thing here, purely to get the counters here going. I know I don't get turn meter from it because Hux is there, but I do really need those counters early on. And then now if I'm low, I'm able to stun. That was the plan, but I got substantially lower there than I thought I was going to. So maybe the stun first is a safer option, but this is typically, I believe, how I've played it in the past. So now I want to pick off Sith Trooper. I'll probably do this to just get them out. Just lower their damage output a lot. And then it's okay. So I could certainly see that go wrong if you had like a lower relic Jedi Knight Luke or something, but I don't, unfortunately. Fortunately, actually. Thought that was gonna kill him, but this does the job. So actually the right play, I don't know, I'm like, having seen how far this one got down, right play might just be to start with stun, then to put up retribution for when they're out of stun, or a form of retribution rather. It just feels a bit dicey because then you are going to chain up all of the damage that comes in. And the stun at the beginning, it doesn't give you time to recover, so you're probably going to get hit a lot. So that's why I like to sort of split up that incoming damage doing it with this approach. Then of course I guess if Hux is extremely fast, that could certainly backfire. Or if the Sith Trooper is very high relic or has super good modding. So I just realized I'm actually very curious here. I've never done an Executrix mirror. So instead of using the finalizer here and messing around with that, I want to give that a shot. It's going to be horrible banners, but it will be an interesting learning experience for me anyway. I obviously have a somewhat of an advantage there with my TFP. Lost a lot of health there on Vader though, not super happy with that. Protection rather, but I mean it dug into health. And the goal is to pick off their Vader first. So I'm gonna dispel this, which obviously gets reapplied, but should gain a good bit of turn meter from it. Vader is all the way back up actually. I'll have to do the same here. But I don't have Gauntlet. That's one unfortunate thing. He would have helped a lot. So I'm gonna have to cleanse. Well, my TIE Bomber goes next. And he's gonna get rid of, I believe, some of those debuffs anyway. But I'm not actually positive for how long the buff immunity sticks. That could be a problem, but if I lose Vader, I'm definitely done for. So let me just try this and stick with TIE Bomber for now. Okay, he didn't lose it, that's gonna be a problem, I think. Almost got him. Great. And now use this to almost pick him off. Dang, I thought I would have him there. I'm just slightly behind in the capital ship race. And lost another ship there. Hopefully my TFP can make it up at some point. Oh, that's bad. That is really bad. That's gonna trash my banners. And make me very vulnerable here. Okay, the AI brought in Scimitar. That's not so bad. But damn, that shuttle does so much damage. That's insane. I did not see that coming. That means I'm gonna lose to the ultimate. Unless my TFP can pull off some miracle. Wow. This guy became so much better with RG going up for everyone. It's crazy, I've really underrated this ship, I think. Anyway, gonna get countered here, that's gonna pull my capital ship ahead. By just a tad bit. And I think I'll do the AoE here. Turn meter boost isn't gonna do that much for me. I'd rather protect my ships from death. kill. Yes, the dodge as well. Alright, this is gonna be 55 or something, maybe worse? 56. Okay, well, it was pretty fun. I definitely learned to value the shuttle more, so I'm glad I did that. Well, final score 26-57. Not really a difficult opponent given the GL deficiency that he had, and him making his own life difficult. So that wraps up the week. I hope you like the new sort of recap format that I have, where I just go over the entire week. It's a bit longer for one video, but at least it focuses on fights that are actually interesting rather than you looking at every single match and just having to skim through them because you've already seen Bounty Hunters against Night Sisters 73 times, or have no interest in watching SLK smash like whatever Grievous team that you've already seen a billion times. And I don't have to pretend like that's anything interesting. I didn't fight any opponents this week where I felt like I should really make a full video out of the whole round, because in that second round it wasn't a full clear, but sort of the strategic part captured really the essence of why that wasn't a full clear, and you didn't need to see every single match there to realize I wasn't going to get through those GLs, because I only had one available, and they weren't very multi-shotable either. So that wraps up this week. Looking forward to the next one, and especially the day in between, because I can get started on my Lord Vader. See you in the final week.